You ever notice how a woman doesn't really leave you when she stops texting? She leaves you long before that, mentally, emotionally, quietly, and the scariest part, you usually don't even see it happening. At first, she's sweet. She laughs at your jokes. She wants your attention, then slowly, she starts to fade. The replies get shorter. The calls get rarer. You feel her slipping away. And suddenly, the same woman who once couldn't go a day without you acts like she barely remembers your name. That's when panic hits. You start chasing, overthinking, checking her socials, asking yourself what you did wrong. But here's the cold truth. She didn't lose interest. Because you weren't good enough, she lost interest. Because you made yourself too available. You became predictable. Too easy to reach. Too quick to respond. Too emotionally invested in proving your worth instead of holding your frame. And that's exactly when the balance of power shifts. She starts testing, pulling away, not because she hates you, but because she wants to see if you'll break. Most men fail this test. They chase harder, text more, beg for clarity, and in doing so, kill attraction completely. But a rare kind of man does the opposite. He stays calm. He stays silent. He doesn't chase. He elevates. And that silence, that's what haunts her, because now she's wondering, did I lose him? Has he moved on? Was he actually stronger than I thought? If you've ever had a woman pull away, this isn't your ending, it's your turning point, because once you understand what's really happening beneath her silence, you'll never chase again. Let's begin. The moment she pulls away, most men instantly assume the worst. She's found someone new, she's over me, it's hopeless. But this assumption is where you lose before the game even starts. Her sudden distance isn't a sign of defeat. It's an invitation to a deeper game, one that most men are too emotionally fragile to play. What if her retreating isn't a rejection, but a crucial test of your very essence? A test she needs you to pass, not for her, but for the inherent respect and attraction she holds for you. Consider this. When you first met, there was an unknown, a thrilling pursuit. You weren't a certainty, you were a prize. Now you've become the predictable book she's already read. The chapters are known, the ending foreseen. This isn't about being good enough, it's about being felt. Attraction isn't a logical argument. It's an emotional reaction to scarcity, to challenge, to a man who holds his own space like it's sacred. When you're always there, always available, always eager, you remove the very tension that makes her crave your presence. You become the background noise, not the captivating melody. This is the silent test. It's rarely conscious on her part, but deeply ingrained in feminine nature. She's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to feel you. Will you unravel when she creates distance? Will you chase, beg, explain, or will you remain unshaken? A man who knows his worth independent of her fluctuating attention. Most men tragically confirm her lowest expectations. They bombard her with texts, double-tap her old photos, ask if everything's okay. Every single one of these desperate moves confirms her control. She sees your fear, and that fear extinguishes the flame of attraction. The man who truly wins this invisible battle is the one who remains calm, unreactive. He doesn't chase. He simply holds his ground. And it's precisely at this point that a peculiar shift happens within her. She starts to feel regret. The profound truth is this. Women don't fall deeper in love with your constant presence. They fall deeper in love with your strategic absence. The less you make yourself a constant fixture, the more she yearns for your return. Think of a rare, exquisite painting. Its value isn't in its constant accessibility, but in its exclusivity. When something is always within reach, it loses its allure. But when it retreats, it becomes a craving. This is why intelligent withdrawal at the right moment is your most formidable weapon. Don't text first. Don't over-engage on social media. Don't rearrange your entire life around her fleeting attention. Prioritize your kingdom, your purpose, your ascent. When you disrupt her expectation of your immediate availability, you force her mind to engage in a new narrative. Why isn't he reacting? Is he seeing someone else? Did I miscalculate? Your absence isn't just felt. It's a direct challenge to her perception of her own power. So instead of chasing, you match her energy. If she pulls back, you gracefully recede, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. If she reaches out, you respond, but with a composed neutrality that signals you're not desperate, you're merely reciprocating. The key here is not to play games, but to embody a truth. Your world doesn't stop spinning because she temporarily exited it. When she eventually reappears, a text, a like, a subtle probe, This is your ultimate trial. Most men, starved for validation, throw open the gates and welcome her back with open arms, completely resetting the power dynamic. This is a colossal mistake. She disappeared. She tested, and now she needs to prove her sincerity. Don't act like her message is the highlight of your week. Keep your calm. Let her feel the weight of her own absence. Allow her to work for your attention. This isn't about punishment. It's about re-establishing the standard that you are a man to be valued, not taken for granted. Only by holding this frame will she truly respect your presence when it returns. Now for a harsh but necessary truth, not every woman who pulls away will return. And that, my friend, is a victory in itself. If she retreats into permanent silence, she has simply saved you precious time and energy from a woman who didn't possess the depth to truly appreciate your value. You don't want a woman who is merely present when you chase. You want a woman who chooses you because she recognizes the rare, undeniable worth you possess. Your silence is a potent force, far more eloquent than any argument or plea. Most men assume they need to fight for attention, to explain their feelings, to justify their existence. But silence, in its profound simplicity, creates mystery, sows uncertainty, and irrevocably shifts the emotional balance. Initially, she won't even register it. She'll expect your return, your predictable overtures, but then the days bleed into weeks, and slowly a chilling realization sets in. You haven't returned. You haven't reacted. You, the predictable one, have become an enigma. This void you've created forces her to reevaluate everything, to question her own certainty. Women inherently underestimate you until you master the art of silence. They operate under the comfortable assumption that you'll always be there, a safety net of validation regardless of their actions. Why wouldn't they? Most men reinforce this belief with their incessant chasing. But when you deviate, when you choose dignified silence over desperate pursuit, you shatter her preconceived notions. Why isn't he chasing? Why isn't he reacting? Is he actually moving on? These questions, previously unthinkable, now invade her mind, igniting a cascade of emotions she never anticipated. She begins to ask herself, with a disarming vulnerability, did I misjudge him? This single question is the genesis of her regret. The true moment of impact, the one most men never witness because they surrender too soon, is when your absence becomes a tangible weight. At first, she might feel a flicker of relief, a sense of freedom. She expects your call, your text, your attempt to mend things, but the silence persists. No desperate messages, no likes on her posts, no attempts at re-engagement. Days turn into weeks, and a gnawing uncertainty begins to set in. Her phone becomes an extension of her anxiety. She's the one checking it now, hoping your name appears. It's in this profound stillness that she confronts her own vulnerability, realizing for the first time that she might have made a mistake. You are no longer chasing, and that fundamental shift changes the entire landscape. This isn't just about playing hard to get. It's about embodying the unspoken rule of attraction. A woman values you based on how difficult you are to replace. When you were an ever-present fixture, the thought of losing you never registered, but now your absence is a stark, unsettling reality. She starts to grapple with the possibility that she took you for granted, that she profoundly misjudged your intrinsic worth. The beauty of this process is that it's subconscious, organic. The always available loses its luster. The vanished becomes a captivating mystery, and mystery, my friend, is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Once your silence takes root, she inevitably begins her subtle surveillance. She'll revisit your social media, scrutinize your activity, perhaps even send a casual, innocuous message to gauge your reaction. Did I actually lose him? This question becomes a relentless echo in her mind. The thought of losing a man who was once devoted ignites a primal fear, forcing her to reevaluate her decisions, her perceptions, her entire understanding of your dynamic. It's the weight of your absence pressing down. Then come the subtle tests, the tripwires most men stumble over. A random hey, a reaction to an old post, a meaningless text. These are not attempts at genuine reconnection, but probes designed to answer one question. Are you still there, still waiting? And if you leap at the bait, responding with breathless eagerness, you confirm her lingering control. The game resets. She knows she can still have you on demand. And just like that, her interest, which had begun to flicker, dies once more. When she does finally reach out after your period of silence, this is not a moment for triumph or reversion to old habits. This is the crucible. Your response here dictates everything. Will you collapse back into the predictable patterns that enabled her to take you for granted? Or will you maintain your composure, forcing her to earn her way back into your world. The latter is what sustains attraction. You are no longer the man she once dismissed. You are a challenge, a mystery, a force to be reckoned with. And women at their core are drawn to challenge. The ultimate mindset shift is paramount. Never be the man who is eternally available, always chasing. Instead, channel your energy into building your empire, mastering your craft, cultivating your inner world. When you provide her with the space to truly miss you, you simultaneously amplify your value in her eyes. You transform into a man she must strive for, not one she can merely acquire. You win not by pursuing, but by becoming the man who is never forced to chase. A man with unshakable standards who values his time and presence, and who demands that she earns her place in his orbit. This is where true control resides, not through manipulation, but through an unwavering, magnetic self-respect. This is the demarcation line between the men who are played and the men women can never truly forget. There comes a point where your silence transcends mere notice. It becomes an unbearable ache. Initially, she dismissed it, certain you'd eventually relent. But as the days stretch into weeks, her composure crumbles. Your absence morphs from a minor inconvenience into a visceral, emotional torment. She instinctively checks her phone, hoping for your name. She revisits old conversations, desperately searching for a missed sign, a hint of your withdrawal. The longer the silence, the more her self-doubt intensifies. Did I push him away? Was I wrong about him? Is he genuinely gone? The secret here isn't just about her missing you. It's about her profound loss of control. That realization, in its stark brutality, drives her to distraction. One of the most fascinating aspects of human psychology is the impulse to seek elsewhere what cannot be obtained. When she fully internalizes your unyielding silence, she'll attempt to fill that void. She might re-engage with old admirers, seek new attention, or post curated content designed to evoke a reaction from you. But the crucial truth is this: none of it will feel the same. The moment she attempts to replace you, she's forced into a comparison. And that comparison inevitably highlights your unique absence. No matter who she engages with, you remain the unanswered question in her mind, a perpetual enigma. The more she attempts to move past it, the more acutely she realizes the futility of her efforts. Her ego, a formidable adversary, often prevents her from admitting her true feelings. While her emotional core yearns for your return, her pride refuses to be the first to concede. Instead of honest overtures, she deploys subtle tactics. A casual "hope you're doing well" text, or exaggerated social media posts proclaiming her newfound happiness. These are not genuine expressions. They are calculated attempts to elicit a reaction, to confirm your continued attention. But when you remain unfazed, when you refuse to take the bait, the real battle commences. She can no longer discern if you're truly over her, or if you've simply mastered the art of detachment, a skill most men never acquire. Detachment, that is the ultimate ego shatterer. When the realization dawns upon her that you, the man she once thought she controlled, were in fact the prize, everything flips. She comprehends with a painful clarity that you were not merely another fleeting attraction, not someone she could indefinitely string along. And the crushing truth? She arrives at this understanding far too late. By this point, you have transcended, grown, evolved into the man who no longer requires her validation. In that indelible moment, she finally grasps what you knew all along. True value resides not in her approval, but in your unshakable ability to walk away. She is no longer in control, you are. And she is left to grapple with the gnawing uncertainty of whether she'll ever have another chance. So, when she eventually makes her undeniable return, most men, unfortunately, fall directly into the snare. They respond with frantic eagerness, confirming her power and validating her manipulation. And once that validation is secured, she inevitably retreats once more. This is why you must not succumb to the typical male response. When she reappears, you must remain centered, unflappable. Do not abandon your commitments. Do not elevate her to the epicenter of your existence simply because she has deigned to acknowledge you again. Resist the gravitational pull of old patterns that allowed her to take you for granted. Instead, make her earn her way back. If her interest is genuine, she will demonstrate it through consistent action, not just fleeting words. And if she doesn't, then you have won the ultimate game, for you have irrevocably realized that her presence was never a necessity, only an option. Don't chase. Elevate. If she disappointed you, if she chose distance, do not beg. Do not pursue. Instead, channel that energy into your own ascension. Focus on your purpose, your growth, your unwavering forward momentum. Let your silence be the most powerful statement you ever make. If this message has resonated with you, if it has ignited a spark of self-reclamation within, then smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel for more unfiltered truths, and make sure to click the video on your screen right now. It holds the next vital piece to forging the unshakable magnetic man she simply cannot forget.